Hi everyone, Corey here from Tales from a Polk County Girl. In this video, I'm going to borrow Carie Harling's series of What's Your Why Not. I have done 2 or 3 blog posts on this series so far, but they didn't have videos attached to them. And I like talking to myself at a camera, so I figure, hey, I'll just try this next one out as a video. So in this What's Your Why Not video, and if you don't know what it means for What's Your Why Not, I will link Carrie's website down below so you can see what the creator had in mind. For this video, I'm going to talk about why I decided to take a nutritional anthropology class. Now at the time, this was last spring, so spring 2016, I had been out of school for 2 years at that point, graduated with my master's in 2014. I was working a full-time job, and I had always had an interest in nutritional anthropology, or at least what I thought nutritional anthropology was. And I had shared this thought with my neighbor Sarah, and she messaged me one day and said, hey, USF, my alma mater, was offering a nutritional anthropology class spring 2016. So I went in and I had to reapply. I reapplied as non-degree seeking because I didn't care whether or not I passed the class. I just wanted to take it. And I had to get special permission from the professor to take the class, which was because I was non-degree seeking. And it just turned out to be a really good learning experience. There were only like 12 or 13 of us in the class. One girl was working on her doctorate. There was me, who was non-degree seeking. We had 1 undergrad. And then 9 graduate students who were getting their masters in, like, biomedical anthropology seemed to be the main major, I believe. We had one girl in there who she wasn't getting a zoology degree. I want to say it was primatology. She was studying the primates, and she was taking this class in order to compare how the diets of humans may be similar or different to those of the great apes. So that was really interesting when it came time for our group projects, because she actually brought in footage because she was also a keeper. She brought in some footage from her zoo when it came to the gorillas and everything, so it was okay. So that was pretty cool. So I went into this class thinking, oh, I mean, it's going to be just like it is on Good Eats. If you haven't watched Alton Brown's Good Eats, you need to just stop watching this and go find it. It's brilliant. But occasionally, Alton has surprise guests, and they are nutritional anthropologists. And they are usually giving some historical background and context to why we eat certain foods and how it pertained to cultures and all that stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. And to me, that's what a nutritional anthropologist was. It seemed more what I know of now as a food historian than somebody looking to do it, I'm trying to figure out how to say this properly, than somebody with a medical interest. Let me put it that way. My class took the more medical view of it, looking at how foods affect the body and how that can cause disease changes, and very much from a medical perspective. And while the class was interesting, I learned very quickly that I wanted to be a food historian, not a nutritional anthropologist. But I kept on, and the book was really interesting. We had what is known in the world of academia for a textbook as a reader, which means it's a book, it's a bound book of a bunch of peer-reviewed journal articles that have been published in various other places. So there was that. I also, because I was the only professional student in the class, I'll say, I had fun just finding books that I thought my professor would be interested in. And I brought the list to my classes and said, hey, you know, we've got some of these books. Have you heard of this one? No, I can't even think of what some of them are. I think A Million Years of Food was one that I brought in because it really looked at how our diet has been influenced by our ancestors. But so why did I decide to take nutritional anthropology? Well, whenever somebody asks me that, why do I do anything, my immediate answer is, why not? Just to be a smart ass. But I took nutritional anthropology thinking that it was going to be like a food history class, but that wasn't it, at least not the way this class was set up. And while I really did enjoy the class, my professor was great, and my classmates were fantastic. I learned a lot from them. Like one, our doctoral student, she actually, she's a vegan, and I had never actually been around somebody that was a vegan. So it was actually really nice to be able to sit down with her and go, okay, well, can I ask you about why you chose this? And she's very open about it. She answered my questions. She didn't take offense to anything. And she's not one of those stereotypical, anybody who isn't a vegan is a murderer. It's, as far as she's concerned, this is her personal choice. And she's not going to push her views on anybody else. And so she was, I say, a cool vegan. So yeah, that was really interesting getting that point of view. And, but yeah, since that class, I have read probably a dozen different books on the history of food, various types of food. I did just finish reading 100 Million Years of Food, what our ancestors ate and why it's important. That one was very insightful. It talks about why certain regions have certain like why they like the way certain things taste. Like we joke with my boss, who is of Swedish descent. She loves vinegar, pickles, all that stuff. And if you look back just in the preservation methods of the Scandinavian culture, there's a lot of pickling. There's pickling all over the world, but the very specific types of pickling that they do are what she craves. So it can come back to Margaret Mead's nature versus nurture argument. Does my boss crave those types of flavors because that's what she grew up eating? Or does she crave that flavor because it's in her genetics? So it's quite interesting. The next one I'm going to read is, I don't know, I'm actually kind of taking a break from food books right now. Because as interesting as they are, nonfiction books take a lot longer to get through than fiction. And that's just because it's a lot of information to digest, and probably reading them at night when I'm really tired is not a good idea. So if you ever have the opportunity, bottom line, if you ever hear about a class either at a local college or a university that sounds interesting to you and you've got the money to take the class, just take it. I mean, I took this class for the hell of it because I thought it'd be fun. I learned a lot. Yeah, it was kind of stressful some days, and I'm like, I'm crazy. Why am I taking a class and working a full-time job? And there are millions of people that do that, don't get me wrong, but I was doing it for fun. But if you have the opportunity to take a class that interests you like that, do it. You'll thank yourself. And if there is something you want to learn about, just go learn about it. I'm sure there's another YouTube video, either a YouTube video, a Wikipedia entry. Go to your local library and ask your librarian. There's my shameless library plug. So what's my why not for nutritional anthropology? Because I wanted to be a food historian at one point, and I still kind of do, but I've got a lot more to learn. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all later. And Carie is open to other people filming their own What's Your Why Not videos. So if you want to do that, do it and let her know so she can watch them. Okay? Bye, everybody.